Welcome back to DVC Weekly. This is episode 159. My name is Jason Rippleding. I'm the broker of Buy and Sell DVC. I'm here with Scott Ferrioli.
I'm the owner of DVC-Rental.com and Buy and Sell DVC.com.
And this is being aired for the first time, February 21st, 2024. Just keep that as a reference in case you're watching this 20 years from now. You never know. So your 11th month window is going to be January 21st, 2024. 7th month window is going to be September 21st, 2024. We're going to start on the resale side of things. And I'm just going to try and cover this as briefly as I can. People ask, what's the difference between resale and direct? So you have to remember, let's say DVC, some people say it started in 91, 92. So between 91 or 92 until 2011, it didn't matter if you bought direct from Disney or if you bought resale, the ownership was exactly the same. There was no differences at all. Everything was going along fine. I thought DVC had record number of sales, opening up new resorts, and many members. The membership was just growing and growing. Resale was very successful because people need, when you need to sell your points, you need to be able to sell your points. You don't want to say, I got to have this forever. So in 2011, what Disney did was they made the first resale restriction. So now if you bought resale, you weren't able to use the points for the Concierge collection, the Adventure collection, or the Disney collection. And the Disney collection, not to be confused with the Disney resorts, is like Port Orleans, anything that's not a DVC resort, you couldn't use your points there. Now, people quickly realized, number one, using your points for a Disney cruise, it didn't make sense. So that wasn't a big deal. Now I can't think of what the African Safari trip, what was that under category? Adventures by Disney?
Maybe Adventures. I mean, they have Adventures by Disney trips now that do African safaris and stuff. I don't know if they did back then.
Yeah, I remember because the African safari was, a big thing that people would say, you can buy this and you can go on an African safari. Well, it was more like a dream thing because number one, it required a huge amount of points to go on it, but you couldn't do that anymore. So that didn't affect a lot of people because they're like, it's at the time, I want to say it was like 1,300 points a person. So like I wasn't going to do that anyway. Yeah. And so in the Concierge collection, that was like the Whitehall in San Francisco. And, again, it not only did it require a lot of points, but you also had to pay, back then, I think you had to pay like $89 a night or something.
I think it's or at least like a $95 transfer.
Or a $95 fee. And so people, so at first they were like, no one's ever going to buy resale again. Well, then after they absorbed all the information, nothing changed in the resale market. Everyone was still buying directly from Disney, and people were still buying resale. Everything was fine. Everything's going along fine. And now you just had to explain to people. And not only that, it also created where people now really knew that resale existed because Disney made a point of it saying, if you buy from us, well, if you don't buy from us, wait, if you don't buy from us, there's another option. Like it opened up a market of people that wouldn't have known that resales existed. So that lasted until 2016. And then in 2016, they made another change. And this change, now you're not going to get discounts like at certain restaurants or certain merchandise discounts. And then the big thing is that you wouldn't get a discount on the annual pass. So the annual pass thing did influence some people because they said, we're a family of 4. We always buy an annual pass. Yeah. It's going to cost this amount of dollars. And the gap between resale and direct at that time was not as big as it is now. It was a much closer gap. So, but again, everything still was, again, more people became aware of resale. If you weren't buying an annual pass, that didn't affect you. So then you go to 2019, and now it gets a little bit more complicated, if you will, because now you have Riviera, and basically they said if you buy Riviera resale, you can only use your points at Riviera. Can't use them anywhere else. And
that one still completely confused me. Because I sit, if you don't mind me jumping in a little bit, as I sit there and I go, you're purposely trying to hurt the people that you're trying to sell the contracts to. So, buy Riviera from us and you have access to everything. But if you ever need to sell it, we're going to penalize you. It didn't make sense to me. I still don't know what Disney was doing with that move. It doesn't make sense at all to sit there and punish the people that you're trying to lure in to buy your product. You can buy it from us, but then, we're going to hose you if you ever try to sell it. Because if you ever try to sell it, whoever buys it can only stay at Riviera, which means it's going to, be much cheaper on the resale market. So we're going to purposely hurt your points when you try to. It's like we want to sell you a brand new car, but just so you know, when you try to sell it, we're going to do something to your car so it's worth less. It's like, what? Why would you ever do that? Or what benefit does that really have for you?
Plus, the person that takes the hit is the first person that buys those points from Disney.
Yeah, it's not like you're hurting the next person who buys it resale. Oh, you bought resale. You deserve it. You're hurting your initial buyer.
Right, because I'm just throwing out random numbers here. Let's say the initial buyer buys Riviera directly from Disney for $200. So he buys it $200 a point, and then it resells for $130.
Yeah.
Well, once he resells it and that new buyer bought it for $130, well, that new buyer now owns it for $130. If they're exchanging for $130, he can still get his money back. The guy that bought it directly from Disney, like you say, they're the ones that they're taking the hit for everybody else. So yeah, I never looked at it that way, but yeah, that's a good point. It's like you're punishing that first person that buys it direct from you, and then they did it for the Disneyland resorts, the villas at Disneyland Resort. And then they're going to do it now for the cabins at Wilderness Lodge, for what's the name? What's the new name?
Cabins at Fort Wilderness.
Cabins at Fort Wilderness. So yeah, so those first buyers are the ones that have to take the hit for everybody else. So, but that's the summary.
I just don't get it. It's like trying to. I just gave you this example. It's picture sitting there buying. This is a luxury item. Picture sitting there, this Lamborghini dealership. You go in there, like, here's your Lamborghini. By the way, if you ever sell it, we're actually going to put a limit on it, so the car will only go up to 85 miles an hour. So you're like, you get to enjoy it, but as soon as you go to sell it, you're hosed because whoever's buying it now has a Lamborghini that only goes to 85 miles an hour, and that's going to discourage them a little bit. So it's like and the things all the time they weren't even telling people. Like we've had a lot of people contact us over the years who said that when they bought Riviera, nothing was ever mentioned. If you ever want to go sell it, by the way, we're going to penalize you.
That's a big thing. I get. Yeah.
I'm sure it's in the bylaws. It's in their it's hidden in their contract on page 5 somewhere. But it's no sales guy really wants to come out and say, "Hey, you should buy this. It's a really great resort. Riviera is wonderful. Stay wherever you want." However, if you sell it, there is a clause in here that kind of hoses you and your family. So make sure you read that as well.
That's why, again, I'm not trying to hold anything against anybody, but the person that does know that resales exist and they buy that Riviera direct, to me, I could never, I don't see how I could make that purchase and feel comfortable with it, because I know what it.
I could, you can make a case for buying another resort direct if you really want those discounts and you really want to go to a party. Like there's reasons, but to buy at one of these resorts that if you ever need to sell, and they say the average DVC owner owns it for about 10 years, that if you ever need to sell it, or something happens to you and your kid ever needs to sell it, it's immediately going to take a huge hit because of the penalties associated on it. So. Doesn't make sense.
Yeah. So hopefully now you guys are experts on the resale changes. And I know there's been talk about the trust. I don't really want to get into that because we don't have full details on it.
That was all guesses, and nobody knows. I didn't even bother reading it because I said this is nothing. I don't even know.
So I shouldn't have probably even mentioned the word. So now we're going to go on to the food review of the week.
Come here, I'm gonna eat you! Get in my belly!
So for today's food review, Lucky for you, you don't get me. We had family visiting from New Mexico around New Year's, and we went to Hollywood Studios, and we swung by the Backlot Express. I went there to grab a snack, but we ended up getting some food while we were there. And my niece, Addison, recorded a video. So, Ty, please roll the video. Hello, this is my niece, Addison. We're at Backlot Express, and she is having the teriyaki chicken bowl for $13.29. It's got seasoned jasmine rice, teriyaki chicken, edamame, carrots, cucumber, onions drizzled with a house-made lemon, tahini, chipotle vinaigrette with sesame seeds. So Addison is here to do her review.
I didn't think this through. Yeah.
Start with the chicken.
That's good.
It's good?
It's a little spicy, but it's good. I give that an 8.7.
8.7.
And then,
Try it with some of the other stuff too, with the rice and
let's see.
some of those nasty vegetables. Yuck.
The rice is good. It's very fluffy.
Fluffy rice is always good. It's jasmine rice.
Let's see.
That vegetable is what scares me.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of bell peppers, so. Oh, it's very light.
It's light? Okay.
It's good.
That's good.
I think overall I give this a 9.1.
9.1. Strong
Good.
score for Addison. Thank you so much, Addison.
Of course.
Okay, as Jason did not get to see the video, she had the teriyaki chicken bowl. It was $13.29, and she scored it a 9.1.
Nice.
Very, very high score. It looked very, very good. I'll give you a little tease that I got my snack from the Backlot Express, something that has been around for a long time. It was my first time trying it, though. And that's going to be coming up in a future episode, and I would not try this again. There it is. I ruined it. I would not
So
try it again.
is your niece, is this someone that's an adult? Is someone that's
She is 19.
19?
Yes.
Fantastic. So she is,
She turning 20 in 2 weeks, 3 weeks. 3 weeks from this being live, she'll turning 20.
nice.
Yep. It looked good. The chicken bowl looked very good, and it definitely was better than what I had.
Nice.
I didn't get to try it though.
And it was a decent size
It was,
portion?
yeah, it was a decent portion of it. It was $13.29. It was pretty solid. I mean, I think I would try it. I mean, it looked good. I know she really, really enjoyed it. And yeah, I would definitely try that if I went there.
And now we're on to the DVC-rental side of things.
So recently, they extended the Disney After Hours at Walt Disney World past the April 2024 dates that they had. The additional Disney After Hours are going to go through, as of right now, at Magic Kingdom through June 27th, at Epcot through July 18th, and at Hollywood Studios through August 29th. If you noticed, Animal Kingdom is not on this list because they don't do extra hours at Animal Kingdom because of the whole animals. They got to put them away and everything. On event nights, guests get an extra 3 hours at Magic Kingdom, Hollywood Studios, and Epcot. Guests attending the separately ticketed events get more time to experience attractions, character greetings, and unlimited complimentary snacks, including select beverages. Disney After Hours pricing for the summer 2024 ranges from $145 to $175 per person. And there is still a $30 discount for available DVC members and Walt Disney World annual pass holders. So if you happen to be, as we were just talking about before, if you were grandfathered in, or if you've bought direct from Disney, you can get a $30 discount for DVC members. Or if you're a DVC member and you have an annual pass, you get the discount anyway. So not a big deal. But that is all I have for today.
So you mentioned that, there's no extra hours at Animal Kingdom,
Yeah.
right? I just want
There's
to,
like no fireworks at Animal Kingdom, and yeah, they typically shut down early because of the animals.
I just want to share an Animal Kingdom story.
I like animals.
Even though I was not directly involved, but I live in Hunters Creek, it's Orlando, and somebody was in Hunters Creek with their son, and then they spotted a bird. It didn't look like a normal bird that you would see. And so,
Which is interesting because Florida has some crazy birds around here. So to see something outside of that would jump out at you.
So they see this bird, and then apparently I'm not 100% sure if it was the father or the son, if they follow some Animal Kingdom social media page or something. They I guess they remembered that the animal kingdom was missing a bird.
Really?
So, however it happens, they call this person, they find the number to call, or I guess they called Animal Kingdom. Sure enough, 5 people from Animal Kingdom come to this location, and so they sent me this video. So there's these people all sitting around, and then this lady calls whatever she says to the bird, and then the bird just goes from it was on the top of this fence. It comes down, lands right on the lady's hand.
Really?
And they were like, "Thank you so much." And then they took the bird, and off they went back to Animal Kingdom.
And this is in Hunters Creek?
Yes.
Oh, very, very cool.
So I was like, "Wow, that's quite the story there."
So it's one of their trained birds that's probably like in a show or something. They gave the command, and the bird just flew back and landed on her arm.
So awesome. I was kind of blown away by that, because I tried searching to see like if I could find where an Animal Kingdom bird was missing, and I couldn't find it. So I don't know. Again, it just worked out that the people that saw it knew that there was a bird missing, and then the bird they came, they got it, took it back, everything's good. And then the father and son, they wanted to, they pet the bird, and they were like, "Well, you can't pet the bird or anything," but they did get their picture taken with the bird. What a lady was.
It's the least they could do is let them take the picture with the bird.
So yeah, there was a little bird saving going on. So
interesting.
I'd share that little story there since you mentioned Animal Kingdom. But yes, that's why there's no extended hours, no fireworks, and you got to take care of the animals.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll end it on that story there.
Well, thank you so much for watching. We appreciate it. Hit the like and subscribe button, and we will see you next week.